So this is Sahar Sikander, who is a graphic designer and who designs websites. So Sahar, why don't you give us a brief introduction of your career and what your main motive was to become a graphic designer?
I started off actually, growing up knew I wanted to get into the design field. So I studied design, basically painting and design from Sophia Polytech. But where that was going to take me, I wasn't sure. And I graduated in textile design, thinking that that's what I would do and follow my passion. And what happened was that as I was the year I was graduating, I heard of this computer aided design institute called Edit, which was absolutely Greek to me, but I was like that would help me with my textile design. So I joined the classes and I started learning some software there. And once I started learning things like Adobe Photoshop and CorelDRAW, that was it. Then I kind of completely ignored the textile part of things and started doing a lot more graphic design work. And then I got a job with a couple of agencies.
All right. So what are the skill sets you think are essential to become a successful graphic designer?
Um, so the thing is that you've definitely got to have a keen sense of observation. You really need to observe all kinds of things which are man-made and natural. Observe textures, observe colors. To get a keen sense of what is real and what looks like an illustrated view of the real thing. So you've got to have a keen eye. Observation, I think, is the most important thing.
All right. So what guidance do you have for students who look to be a graphic designer in the near future?
I feel like there are lots and lots of young graphic designers these days. Uh, but the only thing the only thing I would say is that they need to definitely spend many, many, many more hours of of doing things, of practicing before they even call themselves graphic designers, because it's very easy to use tools on a software and think that you're designing, but you need to really have a portfolio for yourself. Uh, and have that kind of confidence to then start calling yourself a graphic designer and working the way you're supposed to, just by using the tools that are there available on the computer does not mean you are a graphic designer. You have to have more than that. You have to be able to visualize what you're doing.
All right. So what just give me a second. Come. So how do you use technology and how do you think technology will change the way you work in say the next 10 years?
Technology has been, I mean, for a graphic designer, uh, I think it's super important to have the technology, to have the aids, to have the softwares, because we're nothing without them, honestly. And It's amazing how, every time you feel like a software, like for example, InDesign or Illustrator gets better, you feel like, okay, this is get better than this, and suddenly after a couple of months again they get updated and again there are new features. So it's really important to keep up with those features, to try and do something a little more than you could. Like for example, if you're a static graphic designer, try and learn a little bit of animation. And all this is only possible because of the technology that is available. And I think the future of graphic design is animation. Everything is going to be movement.
All right. So thank you for your time. Thank you, Sahar.
Not at all. Thanks for calling me. Bye.